Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Alan Wake Blind.
A car was driving away from the farm, headed in the same general direction as I was. For all I knew, it was Barry, caught in the consequences of leaping before looking.
Well, I guess it can also be the drunkard, Walter, because the manuscript actually mentioned him. Heavy duty flashlight, okay. Let's take this one. I just robbed somebody's encampment, although I guess the people are presumably all taken or dead, because there's no one here, so...
The car was heading for the cabin up ahead. It wasn't far. If it was Barry, I would see the damage soon.
Okay, that's...
I'm trying to deliver each page to the right time and place. I'm trying to show you how the story goes.
I had seen glimpses of the light before. I had seen it in my dream. It was a strange spaceman or a diver in a bulky suit. He was the one who'd been placing the pages on my path.
Oh, so that's Thomas Zane then, the diver? So I guess maybe he sort of unleashed the dark presence first, and then he felt guilty about that, so that's why he tries to help me now to contain it. The dark presence at large.
The dark presence followed the choreography laid out to it in the manuscript, growing stronger and stronger, moving like a storm from one scene of destruction to the next. But it was still bound to follow the story and chained to the dark place it came from. When the story reached the end it longed for, it would finally be free.
I'm not quite sure how to interpret that. Like, am I supposed to interpret that in a way that if the story ends, the darkness will be free to do whatever it wants? If so, then I guess I cannot ever end it. Like, that would be kind of weird. I would have to keep writing in a loop or something to keep it contained. But then, didn't the darkness want people to write about it? Is it not how it gets its power? By, you know, creativity being devoted to it? Okay, there's some ruins. The patients escaped the lodge.
The storm raged on as the Anderson brothers walked unsteadily away from the clinic with the other patients in tow, knowing that this time they wouldn't return. The darkness around them seethed with horrors, but Tor and Odin were unafraid. Their eyes glinted with guile. They knew every secret path, and there was blood on their hands. They had fought these shades before. Someone had left a gun behind. Now I had a fighting chance of reaching the farm.
Okay, but I think there's also an upper floor in this ruin. Though I should perhaps save my ammunition. It's not like I have tons of it. On the contrary, actually. There's not much here. It seems there's literally nothing here. Which is perhaps even weirder. Well, let's continue in the direction of the farm then. Oh, come on. I'm pretty sure, generally speaking, it's still kind of wiser to flee from them than it is to fight them, because they have only 12 bullets, like, in total. It won't be good for long. Okay, there's a light not far from here. Oh, come on! Oh, for Oh, and the checkpoint is quite far, actually. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm going to die again. Unless I can somehow dodge them for long enough. To get into the light. Huh, it's interesting that their projectiles can still reach me, even in the light. You'd think, as they are possessed by...
I could see the car, but there was no sight of the driver.
As they are possessed by the darkness, they would have disappeared when entering the light, but apparently not.
Hello? Anybody here? Ah! Barry!
No! Danny, you're not! Ah! Please! Ah! What are you? Ah! No! Don't! I'm sorry! Ah! Ah!
So that's Walter, the drunkard. Getting murdered.
The front door was locked.
Presumably in the basement. Anything I can discern from the newspaper? Bright Falls record, but I can't. The headlines are too small for me to read, which is annoying because I would like to read them, but I can't. Oh well, let's go. Should I go downstairs or? Oh, I guess he's not in the basement. He's. Wait, what was that? There is no darkness here, so how did I hurt myself? I don't quite understand that. Okay, so that's where he is.
I know you. You were in jail the other day.
I went to the farm again for the moonshine, you know? It makes you see. They're not gonna miss it. They're in the loony bin. But my buddy, Danny, I lost him. Something's gone wrong with him. It's not him. Like a real bad follow-up to a real good movie. Where the best friend's suddenly the bad guy. Who wrote this crap anyway?
That's kind of hilarious seeing how it's me. Like, I wrote this. Presumably, at least. Oh well, he's dead, so...
I've run through every possible course in my head. If I continue like the Dark Presence wants me to, the story I'm writing won't save Alice. It's a horror story, and it's going to kill her, and me, and everybody in this town. No one will survive. Darkness will consume everything. This is what it's wanted all along. It will be free, unstoppable. It used Alice to get to me, dangled her in front of me to keep me going. It was never going to release her. I'm going to change this. I'll escape. I've written myself into the story. I'm now the protagonist. This feels like a terrible risk, but it's the only way to save Alice. I'll be bound by the events of the story just as much as anyone else who's been woven into it. The story must stay true for this to work. There have to be victims along the way, near escapes, cliffhangers. In a horror story, it can't be certain that the hero will succeed or even survive. He almost has to die. I'll write my own escape into the story next. I need help. Zane's going to be the one who will help me. I'll make it happen.
Yeah, so I guess it was me who wrote all of the sort of contrived coincidences that helped me along the way, including, actually, if I am to believe that, including Thomas Zane's sort of ghost or whatever. But then, like, isn't me writing this story also part of the story that I wrote? Like, it's kind of like a self-referential, circular, never-ending loop. It's like a grandfather paradox, basically, because in order to write myself into the story, I had to write about that first, and in order to do that, and so on, so on. So I'm not sure that makes as much sense as I think, but, well, maybe the game will elaborate on that on its own, because it seems to like delivering plot exposition at crucial points, so...
Let me guess. Danny, huh?
Okay, I guess I'm going through the window.
The farm was still a good distance away. I'd need a car to get there fast.
First, let's check this manuscript page. Hartman considers Mott and Wake.
For a moment, Hartman considered strangling the idiot. Mott was mean-spirited, but easily manipulated. An emotional infant who lived for his approval. Wake, by contrast, was a far more difficult subject. Mott had given him too much leash. In 2 days, who knew what could happen? Hartman would have to find a way to rein him in, and quickly.
Okay. And there's an outhouse. I was kind of half expecting there to be a page instead of the toilet paper. Okay, I guess let's enter the car. The game strongly suggested that it's a longer way to the farm, so it's probably going to be useful. Not to mention...
If Barry wasn't up here, he was probably in trouble down at the farm. For a moment, I felt bad for doubting him. After all, I'd made it this far myself. But Barry was Barry.
Not to mention, I can use the lights to actually destroy the Taken without wasting my actual batteries. Okay, there's something this way. I guess probably in the house. Batteries, ammunition, the symbol of the torch again. Nothing upstairs. Well, the detour was still worth it, kind of. Just for the flashbangs alone. I'll check what is at the end of the road here. There still might be something. Unless it winds back down to... Okay, now I'm kind of confused, because maybe this is the actual road I was supposed to take to the farm, in which case the other path is optional, in which case I now feel compelled to go back and check it, which is annoying. Although, maybe it goes back to the other road. It might, judging from how it winds down here. Okay, I actually prefer the hunting rifle to the shotgun. Let's really listen to the radio.
Well, as I'm sure everyone's noticed, that storm we all felt coming is finally here. The boys at the Weather Service reckon it'll last until morning at the very least. Pertaining to that, let me read that missing persons alert again. The Sheriff's Department's still looking for a Caucasian woman, 30 years old, slim and blonde with blue eyes. She may be lost in the woods, and it's possible she's been injured in a car accident. If you see her, please make sure you get her indoors and call the sheriff. It's bad weather to be caught out in, so if you see someone in the area who maybe looks a little confused, give them a hand, all right? This is Pat Maine on KBF FM, hoping you're all safe and warm tonight.
I guess this was about Alice. Okay. Let's continue down the road. And now... Would this link with the other road? From before? Yes, it does, because this is the house with the glowing signs. So that's good. That means I've checked everything. So I can now continue onto the farm with clear conscience. Okay. And now up here, I guess it's a place where I'm supposed to leave the car. Okay. And of course the path is blocked. I'm supposed to take a detour here. Is this a stage? Yeah, the stage with the dragon that the manuscript mentioned. Okay, I'm surely going to check that out. That's actually kind of cool. Okay, there's some supplies here, presumably. Okay, no upper floor or anything. Who would his daughter even be? Like, who was that? I don't think I knew that guy, so it doesn't really mean anything to me.
I'd known the brothers used to be some kind of rock stars, but it hadn't really sunk in until I saw the stage.
Oh, they even have like tribunes for the people?
Ow! Run! Incoming! There's too many of them! God damn!
I'm so glad you decided to go it alone, Mr. Monson.
Shut up and shoot! Ow! We have to fight need them all! I can set off more of the fireworks from here and help you out!
Okay,
Did you notice there's a lot of ammo and stuff around? This place is stocked!
that's hilarious.
Hold on!
It's hilariously cool. Okay, I'm dead though, which isn't cool. The more I play this game, the more I become convinced that it's supposed to be at least a little bit comedic.
I'll get them working again, I promise!
And I'm not complaining, like, this is probably one of the highlights of the game so far, as hilarious and ridiculous as it is. Okay, I'm dead though, which kind of annoying.
Yes! Ah! Stay in the light!
Oh, I can heal. Okay.
Oh no, why do you keep doing this to me?
So that'll at least give me
Please, please!
a bit of a respite. This is hilarious. And I kind of love it.
Please don't let me die. Oh, Ryan, this is pretty much how I always wanted to go out. I can They are trying to kill us. That's the high point of my life. Really? Children of the Elder God! Enjoy it, God damn it!
I am kind of dying though. Oh, just in time.
That was awesome!
Bright Falls, rock and roll capital of America.
It was pretty awesome, I have to admit that.
Hey, Al! This way to the farm!
Oh, come on! He brought the...
See, bestseller? No reason to worry. Your cutout's good as new, right where I left it. I'll come back for it once we have the place secured.
Yeah, that's been my biggest worry all this time.
right?
We need to get this thing moved out of the way.
This is as far as I got before they ambushed me.
Okay. There's a ladder here. There's something in the distance there. I guess that might be a page?
Hey, I think Al Wake here has something to say. What's that, Al?
Ooh, I'm Alan Wake. I'm always right about everything. And if I don't get my way, I'll sulk all day long. I'm always intense and moody. It makes me very attractive and mysterious. Right now, I'm just standing here because I need my best friend Barry to carry me. But that's okay. I can just take him for granted.
I think I see what you did there.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
You want me to do my imitation of Barry Wheeler? No? Thought so.
I would want to go back and get the page though. It's good that it glows so brightly. You wouldn't have noticed it otherwise. Mulligan questions Nightingale's orders.
Deputy Mulligan tuned Thornton's chatter out. He didn't think riders were particularly useful people, and a huge manhunt for one struck him as idiotic. Certainly not worth the missed opportunity for coffee and pie. It wasn't even clear what the man had done, except run from them at the trailer park. Mulligan knew he wasn't alone. The sheriff's patience with the Fed was running out.
Actually, that makes me wonder. Maybe Nightingale is a pawn of the darkness, because it has been demonstrated that that the darkness can possess people sort of halfway. They are not completely taken, and it's not like immediately obvious, and yet they still carry out its designs, as it was with Rose. Because to be honest, Nightingale does seem insane. So there is that. Okay, nothing in here. I'll just check the other side over here, because I seem to think there was like a small shed or something. Okay, it is empty. However, there seems to be something glowing out there, which may be another page. And indeed it is. Nightingale finds the manuscript.
As the deputies hauled Wake and Wheeler away, Agent Nightingale eagerly examined the stack of papers Wake had been carrying. It was incomplete, a collection of random pages, but there was enough. He saw his own name in there, among others. His hand shook with emotion. Finally, it was proof. He had been right all along.
I already talked about how I don't think the manuscript is really proof of anything. Apart from maybe, in the eyes of regular people, it might be proof of the fact that Alan Wake is insane. Because, it's full of references to magic and the darkness and whatever. But just because you write about doing something does not necessarily prove that you've done that or are seriously planning. If it worked this way, then you could prosecute like people who write about violent things. Like if it's fiction, but it's in realistic enough context, then you could easily sort of mistake it for reality. But that isn't really proof of anything.
You look at that thing, Al! They really went all out with this Viking crap, didn't they?
Oh, they have an actual Drakkar.
Stuff. They must have done okay for themselves, so how come I never heard of these guys before?
And this from the guy who learned about Ozzy Osbourne through reality TV?
That's actually great. Like, I'm kind of impressed with them. With how far they went, for their art. And I guess I'm a sucker for like Viking themed imagery and whatever, so it even adds to the charm for me. Okay, I can use the TV, which is yet another episode of Night Springs.
Oh, Night Springs. Man,
Somewhere
back
between
memory.
fantasy
Hey,
and
remember when I got you that gig?
But
Your
dreams
first
have a
real
way of
writing
forcing
job. What got you
themselves into
started?
real life,
Was this one of your
vice
episodes?
versa. In Night Springs. Tonight's episode, The Dream of Dreams.
That's by someone else.
We join Mr. Jones as he explores the endless dreamscape, only to be brought to a sudden stop by a decidedly mundane situation. A long line of people.
Hey, Jones, right? Listen, we're gonna have to wait until His Highness over there is good and ready. Oh, wow. Who's that? You don't know him? What are you, new? He's the guy dreaming us. Well, not just us. He dreams everything. All of this.
But wait, no. I'm the one who's dreaming. I'm asleep. Isn't this my dream?
Oh, yeah. Sure. Get real, pal. You're just another dream. I'm a dream. You're a dream. The weirdo in the diving suit is a dream. And the girl made of smiles and sunshine is definitely a dream.
But I'm pretty sure I'm dreaming this.
Well, maybe you're a really confused dream. What am I, a shrink? All I know is I'm going with the smart guys, and they say that's the guy doing the dreaming. Right there.
I don't know what that means.
It means we keep him happy. No sudden falls. We make sure he has his clothes on when he goes out in public. No chases where the monster is nipping at his heels and he runs like crazy, but his legs don't seem to get him anywhere. None of that. Because if he wakes up in a cold sweat...
Oh.
Yeah, precisely. So we wait till he wants to move on. Keep things nice and calm.
Hey, something's happening here.
Yeah? What's that?
What? Can't you hear that?
Oh, God help us, it's an alarm clock. Oh, it's you, isn't it? Please, man, I got a wife and kids. Please don't wake.
Okay, so it's interesting. I don't think it was stated before that Alan Wake himself was actually one of the writers for the TV series of Night Springs. That's interesting. But regardless, this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to pause here. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!